Curious on your emotions of kind of the balance of a big win, but also maybe a second half that was a little disappointing for most of you guys.
First, I just want to congratulate the guys. Winning in the playoff game, winning the game in general is, really hard. But, when you win and you can look at things and, clean things up, it's exciting to know that, once we fully put the pieces together, we're going to be even better.
Back on the right, run.
Just kind of following up on that, how would you describe the mood in the locker room right now?
Normally you hear the music, but, we're kind of down right now just knowing that we didn't play to our standard.
Front left, James.
You guys connected on 4 passes of 40 plus. You brought in a couple of those for touchdowns. They had allowed a good chunk of 40-yard plays this season. Was that something you guys saw on tape that you might be able to take advantage of like you did?
Just really knowing we're Oregon, we got speed on the outside and just going out there and it's attacking matchups and knowing, when Dante puts the ball in there, we got to go and win our one-on-ones.
Back on the left, Matt.
What gives you, right here, Malik, what gives you the confidence that this team can grow from this and know that the standard is better?
Like I said, normally when we come to the locker room, we're playing music, dancing, all that. But when you come to the locker room and it's almost like we felt like we lost, that's just, very exciting to see that, we're not, outcome driven.
Right here on the left, Eric. I know it wasn't huge snap counts for either, but what was it like seeing Gary and DeCorian back and kind of maybe what that lift gives this offense going forward?
Man, it's just really exciting when you get your guys back. A guy like G, this is last season, and you don't like any injuries, but for him to come back now, just making our offense even more special.
All the way in the back, Aaron.
Kind of just a unique experience that we've been talking about all week, hosting a playoff game. Just what did you think of the crowd tonight, the atmosphere, and just the way the community kind of rallied around this game today?
Man, just knowing that, we've been out of school for some time, just see how the student section was, it's very electric. But, for us to have this first playoff game in Austin, just nothing but a blessing. And, shout out to JMU, coming in and, being a good team, things like that. But I feel like, just as a whole, community, they brought the juice.
Back middle with the hat.
Kind of just talk about how you felt with your routes and attacking JMU's defense tonight, whether it was deep down the field or just throughout the game as an overall wideout.
Really just all year just been winning our one-on-ones, in the run game and the pass game. So, just like I said, just being the spot for Dante, knowing, he's a great quarterback. And if I just, run my routes, us receivers, tight ends, running backs, get to our spots, he's going to find us.
Right next to him.
Yeah, there's a couple times here tonight where you're just clear. You get one-on-one and you beat a guy. Just what's in your head at that moment where like the pill's coming?
Just make that play and get in the end zone.
Front right, back.
What positives do you take from tonight? Because while you say that the standard is much higher for how you finish the game, by all means, the first half you guys were clicking on all cylinders offensively. What do you take away from this game positively?
In the first half, we weren't on the field as an offense that much. So, just us being efficient and doing what we need to do, that's a good positive.
Second row, Bree on the right.
2 touchdowns tonight. Fun for you, I'm sure. What will you remember about tonight?
Man, just getting another opportunity to play in Autzen, just an electric crowd. And, it's just been a blessing just this whole season, just the way it's turned out. Just coming to Oregon, everybody welcoming me with open arms to just finally get another opportunity to play in this special place. It means a lot.
Back on the left here, Matt.
How much have you seen of Texas Tech and your thoughts on just traveling out to the Orange Bowl and that matchup?
I haven't seen too much. I've just been worried about James Madison. I'll probably get onto that tonight. But, just very exciting to go down to Miami and, go against them.
Third row on the left, Max.
Malik, you had a terrific month of November yourself, but another guy that's really come on strong is Jeremiah. Obviously, you've been seeing him, but as a veteran, seeing him as a young guy, what has been kind of key, do you think, to his emergence for this offense?
Just him knowing that, he had to step up. We got a lot of great guys in that receiver room, so it's really just next man up mentality. But, we're getting our guys back, and when we're all clicking on all cylinders, it's going to get very scary for whoever we got to go against.